Why Kylian Mbappé scored so much yet couldn't win the Champions League. Kylian Mbappé is one of the greatest footballers of his generation. A World Cup winner at just 19 years old, blessed with explosive pace, elite finishing, and the ability to decide games in seconds. Few players in modern football have made scoring goals look so effortless on the biggest stages. And yet, despite playing for two of Europe's most powerful clubs, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, there is one trophy missing from his career: the UEFA Champions League. For a player of his quality, this absence raises a difficult question. Why has Kylian Mbappé, despite scoring so many crucial goals, failed to conquer Europe? To understand this, we need to look beyond statistics and into team structure, tactical balance, mentality, and the clash between individual freedom and collective responsibility. When Mbappé joined Paris Saint-Germain permanently in 2018, the club's mission was crystal clear. They wanted to win the Champions League, and Mbappé was supposed to be the face of that dream. PSG gave him everything a superstar could ask for: elite teammates, tactical freedom, protection from criticism, and eventually full control of the attack. On paper, it worked. Mbappé delivered season after season. He scored against Europe's biggest clubs and often carried PSG through difficult knockout ties. In many Champions League nights, he was the difference between elimination and survival. But football at the highest level is not won by talent alone. PSG had a deeper problem. They were not built as a team, but as a collection of stars. Defensive structure was inconsistent, midfield control was unreliable, and in moments of pressure, the team often collapsed mentally. The Champions League punishes imbalance, and PSG paid the price year after year. Mbappé's style of play also played a role. He thrives in open games, where space exists behind defensive lines. His greatest weapon is speed, and he is devastating when opponents push forward. However, Champions League knockout football is often slow, tactical, and compact. When teams sat deep and denied space, PSG struggled to control games. Mbappé could still score moments of brilliance, but the team around him lacked a plan to dominate possession or break teams down collectively. This created a paradox. Mbappé could win matches almost by himself, but tournaments demand control, patience, and balance over multiple games. That is why PSG often looked dangerous, yet fragile. The closest Mbappé ever came to lifting the Champions League trophy was in 2020, when PSG reached the final against Bayern Munich.
And this is the kind of position Mbappé likes. Here's Neymar! Good save from Neuer. Is it over? No. Well, that was a brilliant stop from Manuel Neuer, and that's why he's considered by so many as the best in the world. The best chance, no doubt about that. Lewandowski against the post. Well, the goal machine from Poland was very close to opening the cross. Rich again. Forward. Coman is 1-0. Kingsley Coman, the player that left PSG after playing just a handful of games, has come back to haunt his former club. The Kimmich cross was good, and Coman at the far post made no mistake.
On that night, PSG had their chances. Mbappé had opportunities. Neymar had opportunities. But Bayern were ruthless and composed. That final exposed the gap between a well-drilled football machine and a team built around moments. Bayern controlled the game, managed pressure, and punished mistakes. PSG relied on flashes of brilliance, and in a final, that is rarely enough. The arrival of Luis Enrique at PSG marked a turning point. Unlike previous managers, Luis Enrique did not see Mbappé as untouchable. He believed in positional discipline, pressing from the front, and collective responsibility. In his philosophy, every player must defend, every player must press, and no one is bigger than the system.
Y te vas a pegar todo el partido presionando a Kovacic que no avance y presionando a Ter Stegen para que juegue rápido y volviendo rápido. ¿Para qué? Para ser un líder. Porque tú piensas como que tú nos tienes que marcar los goles. Claro, tú eres un fenómeno, un top mundial, ninguna duda. Pero yo no me vale eso. Un líder de verdad es que cuando no nos puedes ayudar con los goles, porque el otro día.
When Mbappé finally joined Real Madrid, many believed the story would change instantly.
Kylian Mbappé to Real Madrid. Here we go.
Kylian Mbappé, Real Madrid is going to leave
Kylian Mbappé has confirmed his decision. So it's over between Kylian Mbappé and Paris Saint-Germain.
2020 is over. It's historical. It's over between Mbappé and Real Madrid. Now it's Mbappé can really join them. To formal decision of Kylian Mbappé. Real Madrid are offering Mbappé on the 1st of July will be a free agent. Video mentioned that Real Madrid are working hard on the Mbappé story.
The saga is finally over. Kylian Mbappé joins Real Madrid as a free agent at the end of the season. Everything has been agreed. The contract is signed. The announcement will be really soon, in the next weeks, but Real Madrid will have one more star in their squad. Kylian Mbappé joins from Paris Saint-Germain, and it's an historical. Here we go.
Real Madrid are the kings of the Champions League, a club built on history, mentality, and winning when it matters most. Surely, this would be the perfect environment for Mbappé to finally lift the trophy. But Real Madrid is not PSG. At Madrid, no individual is bigger than the club. Mbappé entered a squad that already had established stars, existing chemistry, and tactical balance. Players like Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham already had defined roles, and the system did not revolve around one man. Mbappé continued to score goals because that is what he does best. But chemistry, positional clarity, and adaptation take time. Even legends before him needed seasons to fully understand what it means to win the Champions League the Real Madrid way. Much of the criticism around Mbappé centers on ego. But his ego is not simple arrogance, it is belief. He believes he should be the focal point, that teams should adjust to his strengths, and that decisive moments define greatness. However, the Champions League rewards something different. It rewards sacrifice, discipline, and collective intelligence. This is why clashes occur between players like Mbappé and coaches like Luis Enrique. The competition does not care about status. It only rewards structure and
extra games for them they really didn't want, particularly with the injuries that they've had this season.
Arbeloa coming in, like we've described him maybe as some sort of a glorified babysitter in a sense that it seems to be very difficult to coach these players, to get something out of these players, to tell these players what to do, because obviously Xabi Alonso struggled with that, and Ancelotti towards the end of his tenure as well.
Imagine joining the Champions League winners and suddenly they can't win anything.
The answer seems to be staring us straight in the face. The biggest problem here is Mbappe.
Imagine scoring 40 plus goals regularly for your previous club, then as soon as you leave, they win everything without you.
It's a difficult one because he's still scoring the goals, he's still doing good things.
Kylian Mbappé is not a failure. He is already one of the greatest attackers football has ever seen. But the Champions League is not won by talent alone. It is won by systems, humility, and balance. If Mbappé fully embraces collective responsibility, especially at Real Madrid, the Champions League trophy will eventually arrive. But if individual freedom continues to outweigh tactical discipline, he may retire as one of football's greatest what-ifs, a player who conquered everything except Europe. And that would be football's greatest paradox.